In a small, sun-drenched town lived a young boy whose greatest joy wasn't found in toys or games, but in the rich, dark soil of his grandfather's garden. Every single day you'd find him there, side by side with his grandpa, a small trowel in his hand, a look of pure concentration on his face. He learned the rhythm of the seasons, the language of the plants, and the magic of turning a tiny seed into something beautiful and alive. His small hands would carefully plant seeds, his watering can would dance over the thirsty soil, and he'd pull out weeds with a fierce determination. The garden was his sanctuary, his classroom, and his playground, all rolled into one. It was a world he shared with the person he admired most, his grandfather. But back inside the house, a different story was being told. The boy's parents didn't see the magic. They saw dirt under his fingernails and time wasted. "Gardening won't get you anywhere in life," they'd say, their voices sharp with disapproval. "Your report card is what matters. You need to focus on school, on real subjects." Their words were meant to steer him towards what they considered success, but they felt like stones thrown at his fragile dream. Sometimes their frustration would boil over into shouting, the echoes of their disappointment filling the home that should have been his safe space. It was a constant battle between the vibrant, living world of the garden and the sterile expectations within the four walls of his house. Despite the constant criticism, the boy's spirit refused to wilt. His resilience was nurtured by one unwavering source of light, his grandfather. After a difficult evening with his parents, the boy would retreat to the garden, his shoulders slumped. His grandfather would find him there among the moonlit roses and place a gentle, wrinkled hand on his shoulder. "Don't you listen to them," he'd say, his voice a low, comforting rumble. "I see the gift you have. I see the love in your heart for this soil." He'd point to a blooming flower and say, "This isn't just a plant. It's a piece of your heart you've given to the world." His grandfather's most powerful words were a mantra the boy would carry forever. He'd look the boy straight in the eye and say, with a conviction that left no room for doubt, "Believe in yourself. Never let anyone tell you what your passion is worth. You keep doing what you love, and I promise you, one day you will become the greatest gardener this world has ever seen." Those words weren't just encouragement. They were a prophecy. They were the shield the boy held up against his parents' doubts and the seed of greatness planted deep within his own soul. He held on to those words with all his might, repeating them to himself as he watered the plants, as he studied, and as he drifted off to sleep. Then, one day, the unthinkable happened. The steady, comforting presence that had been his anchor was gone. His grandfather passed away, leaving a silence in the garden that was louder than any storm. The world, once so full of color and life, turned gray. The boy was heartbroken, lost in a sea of grief. For a moment, the weeds of despair threatened to take over not just the garden, but his heart as well. His parents' voices seemed louder now, their "I told you so's" hanging unspoken in the air. It would have been so easy to let the garden wither, to pack away his tools and his dreams, and to finally give in. But then he remembered his grandfather's face, the twinkle in his eye and the strength in his voice. "Believe in yourself." The words echoed in his memory, a final gift from the man who had given him everything. Giving up wouldn't just be letting himself down, it would be letting his grandfather down. It would be letting their shared dream die. So, through his tears, the boy picked up his trowel. He poured his sadness, his love, and his memories into the soil. The garden became more than just a hobby. It became a living memorial. Every new sprout was a tribute, every flower a testament to the love they shared. He worked harder than ever before, his grief fueling a dedication that was awe-inspiring. He wasn't just tending to plants anymore. He was keeping his grandfather's spirit and their shared dream alive. Years passed, like the turning of the seasons in the garden. The boy grew into a man, and his skills blossomed just like the flowers he tended. His small patch of land expanded, becoming a breathtaking tapestry of colors, scents, and textures. Word of his incredible talent spread like wildfire. People would travel from miles around just to walk through his gardens, to witness the magic he created with his own two hands. He didn't just grow plants, he sculpted landscapes, he painted with nature, and he created spaces that healed the soul. He had done it. He had become the greatest gardener, not just in his town, but admired by people all over the world. His name was spoken with reverence in horticultural circles. He had turned his childhood passion into a legacy. And what of his parents? They watched, first with skepticism, then with surprise, and finally with overwhelming pride. The success they had so desperately wanted for him had arrived, but not on the path they had laid out. It came from the very dirt they had once scorned. The man, their son, never held a grudge. He understood their fears, even if they hadn't understood his dreams. With the fruits of his labor, he gave them a beautiful life, one far beyond what they had ever imagined. He built them a house surrounded by the most magnificent garden they had ever seen. He showed them, and the world, that true success isn't about following a prescribed path. It's about having the courage to follow your passion, the dedication to work through the hardships, and the love that can make even the most impossible dreams bloom into a stunning reality. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this story with me today. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that I hope will inspire and uplift you. Until next time, keep planting your seeds of passion.